think I'm gonna do something a little different here. I'm usually working during the day, so I don't get to do a ton of day trading. Um, but I had the opportunity the last couple days. It's been a lot of fun, so I wanted to share the trades I took today. It was a pretty good day. Could have gone better, but I'm gonna start with the first trade, which I actually ended up deleting off the page here, but I can show where my entry was. And this was a full loser. So I was playing GDX this morning, and it had this pullback out of the open here on the 5 minute chart. I'm gonna just bring the 30 minute up chart up for context. So a little, not ideal, a little off the moving average here. MACD kind of hovering the signal line. Definitely not A plus from a 30 minute larger time frame standpoint. But we got this higher low that formed and it pushed up over the moving average here. And at this point, I was looking at this pullback right here on the 5 minute chart. Um, and I was looking at it as a potential pinch play where it wouldn't pass the signal line and it might go higher. Um, and so if I find that on the 1 minute chart, right here, this is making this what I was hoping would be a higher low. And I think I entered it. It was either this candle or this candle. I can't remember, but a little bit of follow through, not enough to hit a target, and then came down, took me out. So that was the first one. That was a full loss. I didn't really get enough follow through to get sort of cute with the trade and get an opportunity to um, de-risk or whatever. So unfortunately, full loss there, but no big deal. And then so I'm gonna go to my second one, which I do think I was able to keep this one on here. So I took this one shortly after, and here it is. Let me find it. So this is where it was on the 1 minute chart, and so it was okay right here. And I was just using this yellow line here as a stop loss after it got a little move up. So um, was playing a pullback to a rising SMA 18 with some ADX. Really looked pretty good. No, it was pretty good. Um, and so I entered probably right here. It was either here or here. I can't remember exactly where, but you can see the price at which I entered, and it got a little bit of follow through to the upside, and then it was struggling. And so at this point, I'm telling myself, it'll be a big red flag if it doesn't continue on from here. So I moved my stop up to half loss. I didn't take any targets on the way up. Half loss. It took me out here, and then went back and tested. Would have stopped out my original stop loss as well. Went down, got it, roughly to the penny as it often happens, and then it was full bull mode after that. So that was a half loser. So those are my first two trades, and so jumping on the third one, and if this one was a half loser or more, I would have been done with two losses. But the next one I took was Circle, and this one went well. We had this nice move up here. Was this right at the open? Yeah, right at the open. A little bit of chop at the open. Not the easiest open, but by the point this is coming, mid morning or so, this is coming back in a pretty controlled manner here. Looking for the pinch on the MACD. Probably could have been doing a little better. I wasn't watching ADX maybe as well as I should have been, but I did like where we were on this pattern here on the 30 minute chart as well, with this tight consolidation with a moving average moving up here. I don't know what the ADX is. My monitor is not really big enough that I can comfortably put the ADX on all my time frames, so I don't have an ADX on this one. I mean, I can put it there if I really want it, but sometimes I pick and choose. I don't like being overloaded with indicators, which is probably surprising considering how many of them you see in front of you right now. Um, so yeah, this one it was just a nice tame pullback here. Entered. Let's see. Looks like I entered on the break of this candle, or just as it was revisiting this candle right here, the high of that candle. Um, and then this was a pretty easy one. I didn't put in my take profits here, but I know I just sold a partial at 1 to 1, and then I sold another partial at 1 to 2. I did not hold it all the way up to this. I just drew this for to see where the fib was. I think I was probably out of the trade right around here. So nice winner there, 2 times risk. Definitely it paid for my loser and a half. And then that brings me to my fourth and final trade, which was on um, SMCI, which is kind of a weird choice because it was pretty bearish all day long. This was late. This was late in the day, and I was just looking through list of day trade symbols here, and I like the look of this on the 30-minute. It was doing this sub-zero line pinch with the MACD with kind of a tight formation, so this was pretty good looking. Um, so what I saw developing here, we can see the 5-minute pattern kind of failed here, found support on the ascending SMA 18, but then flushed down below it. And then at this point, I don't have any edge for any of this. I'm not interested in trading any of this, but I did see this start to complete, some type of ABC. And again, we're looking for a reversal here. We're not playing a higher low pattern. At least with this leg here, we're looking for a reversal. And I saw this was a 618 retrace, and then a sufficiently deep retrace of this leg here. So I had a Gartley pattern in mind, and it came down to fulfill the 786 and all the fib ratios, and I pretty much just blindly entered right below. This is a 1.0 fib extension. It's probably hard to see on this. Let me go to the 15. Yeah, this is a 1.0 fib extension of this this ABC here. Um, so yeah, I entered right there with the Gartley complete. I took a partial at just over 1 to 1. Instead of going 1 to 1, I used the where is a harmonic pattern. I just took the fibs. Where did I draw them here? They're on here somewhere. I drew them off to the side just because it's getting really noisy. I took the fibs of this whole CD leg here, and I just took a target just under the 3A2 when it was sufficiently over a 1 to 1 there, and then I took my second target right where you see it here, which is right around the 5.0. It was kind of coming in late in the day, and I didn't want to just give all this back. And I think there was only like 15 minutes left. I should have held out for the 618. I could have got almost another R out of it. But the 618 was a really nice target, and if the day was longer, I probably would have held out for it, especially with the point of control confluence right there with the volume. This is the volume profile over the whole pattern here, this whole Gartley pattern. So there was, sufficient evidence that 618 would get hit, but I was not so certain it would hit during market hours. Definitely was a close call on this one. I got to the first target quite easily on this one, but if you look at my 1 minute time frame here, I mean, after I hit that first target and moved my stop up to my entry, it was dancing right on top of it. I was actually pretty sure after this give back here that I was not going to get anything but like a partial winner on this, third of a winner, I guess, with it just being a 1 to 1. But yeah, this went really well. I like these patterns late in the day. I like using the Joe Rabel trend setup earlier in the day, and then as things start to establish more price action and more pivots, can kind of use these either Elliott wave or harmonic patterns still within the context of like a Joe Rabel sort of momentum setup with the MACD and all that. So there's pretty good confluence on a trade like this. So that looked pretty good. And then I know I covered ADA a couple days ago, and so I figured I'd check in on that. It's so far pretty much playing by the rules here. Let's let's go to what was it, ADA USD? I think is the one I have mocked up here. Make this a little bigger. So I'm way too zoomed in right now. Way too zoomed out, I should say. Let's go. Let's make this a weekly. No, let's make that daily. Daily with a 4 hour. All right, cool. Yeah, this will work. This will work just fine. Maybe a 1 hour. Yeah, so last I checked in, I didn't have quite so much drawing on here, and I apologize for the mess. As I don't mark up a chart quite this much when I'm looking to enter a trade or looking to even start tracking a trade. And I have a trade box drawn here, but I didn't take this as a trade. I just wanted to see the risk reward. But as I kind of have a thesis and it's unfolding, my charts do start to get pretty messy. I could never just step away and then step back in and take all this in. This just kind of happens as the trade materializes. So I was playing with some fib levels. I don't think not some Elliott wave levels. I don't think I talked about the Elliott wave stuff too much on the last video. But I was looking at this as a 1-2, and then I was looking for something sufficiently big enough to make a 3-4 to match this. But as I started looking at the nesting here, I ended up using like the Elliott channeling. So right now I'm viewing this. We got a 1, a 2, and then this is a 1-2 to start the wave 3 of this larger 1-2 here. I don't know if I have the degrees right or whatever. I mean, it's relative, right? I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that could tell you why it should be primary versus whatever. I have no idea. But, doesn't matter to me. So yeah, I'm viewing this as a 1-2, and then I wanted to put this as a 3 and a 4 and a 5, and that might actually be the case, but this never really fell out of the channel, this channel right here, the trend channel. So in kind of just sticking with the book, let's draw that just a little tighter, and sticking with the book there. Yeah, I'm considering this a 3, and then it's falling out of the channel here, and now that's a 4, and then we are gonna, maybe, hopefully, possibly go up and make a 5, which will then complete a 3 of this larger degree here. Oh, I'm dragging something here, I think. Maybe not. Um, so then we'll have a 3, and then maybe a larger 4, and this kind of looks good from a volume profile standpoint. I mean, it probably should just be able to cut right through this, right? I mean, look how dead this is. So maybe a big move up, another big move down, and then we put in a 5, and then a larger consolidation, and then we'll gauge from there. I'm not going to go any further out than that. But if you want to look at this with bullish glasses, that's these could be impulses forming. Once this 5 is complete, I'm gonna just delete all these channels here because this sub pattern is played out, and I'm gonna redraw the channels on this larger pattern here. And we'll keep track of it. As far as the technicals, we've got good daily strength here. And then on the 4 hour, we had good strength there, of course, coming back because consolidating. And then let's take a look at this 1 hour time frame here. Make this a little bigger. So, I mean, maybe an ABC. Oh, yeah, I didn't talk about this. I spotted this Gartley this morning here when I was kind of mocking this up. So, at this, what this is probably like a wave 4 inside this wave 3 here. So I put the X here, and then an A, and then a B, which almost goes down to 618, not quite. It's certainly close enough. And then C up, and then it came down near the 786, and that's when I drew this trade box. I didn't take this trade. I just wanted to kind of keep track of it for my own record, see how it worked out, how this ABC worked out. And it would have hit the first target being the 382 measurement from C and D. So that all looks good, and now I'm just looking to see was this the bottom of this move, or is it maybe gonna do something a little more complex, a little more elaborate. I think it's done enough. It didn't quite get to a 382. It doesn't have to. It's pretty common for things to just go a little past a 236 if they're in a wave 4. So I don't think that's a huge concern. Definitely, it's always a plus when it sufficiently retraces, but this looks fine. But it may just do like an ABC up and then come down and then do the 382. It could be that this is going to be the matching move for this. I don't know, but right now, with the channeling technique, I'm going to assume that this is a 3-4 to match this 1-2 here. It's maybe getting a little large here, but that's okay. I'm going to be wrong all the time. I can't expect to say so many things and have them all play out perfectly. That would be uh, crazy. So just need a framework to work with, and then kind of just uh, react as things change. Right? I always get frustrated when technical analysis gets kind of thrown into the bus because we move our trend lines around and stuff like that. It's like I move my trend lines around all the time. I mean, part of the strategies, a lot of the strategies I use involve moving trend lines. That's part of what you do. I never draw a trend line and expect price to perfectly react to it. And in fact, if it does, I'm almost a little skeptical, right? It's just whenever things work too perfectly, I get a little uncomfortable. I like to see a little noise. I like to see, some undercuts or, an overshoot and then a retracement. I want to see some evidence that folks are offsides, right? I don't want to see these perfect textbook like drawn patterns. So sorry for the rant. Just wanted to mention that. So yeah, this one we'll keep monitoring it. It's looking, it's roughly following, expectations so far, within some degree of allowance. So, not financial advice. Just wanted to make something different while I got a few minutes here. Since I've had some time to do a little intraday trading and spend a little more time in the markets. Um, and I should have a little more time here. Maybe not this week, but I think next week I am going to be completely off from work, so I should be able to do a little more content. Thanks for watching.